This is very, very impromptu. I was just having a conversation with One Shot Scott through the text, right? He's like, "Hey, Benny Keys." Uh, oh, let me tell you this. There is there is a marijuana strain that's been named after me. It's called Benny Keys OG. Let me tell you the strains that's mixed with it. Hold on. This is real deal. I promise you. It's a marijuana strain named after me. It's called Benny Keys OG. Let me show you, or let me tell you what is in it. It's abusive OG and great white shark mixed together, right? Abusive OG with great white shark. Those two blended together, and my friend named it Benny Keys OG. So shouts out to you. You know who you are. Be looking for it in dispensaries to come. I think that's just the coolest shit, man. Right? Like who? Oh, it's almost like having a dinosaur named after me, right? Oh, that's awesome, right? That is so cool, man. Right? I mean, that's like, oh shit, dude. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. I'll I'll uh I'll get you some more specifics because everyone knows that I'm a connoisseur. So I'll get you some more specifics here about the strain and all of that and that it's just I'm humbled, man. That is super cool, right? Like oh man, like I'm just you could tell I'm just a little bit giddy, right? Abusive OG mixed with white shark, right? Like that is it's called Benny Keys OG. Like shark, white shark mixed with a real abusive OG, real gassy OG, a real just a couch lock. You put a white shark like Benny in an abusive OG, abusive ocean grown. Slam those together, and what do you get? Benny Keys OG. Pow! Anyways, why I got you here for this short little live is it's just a message to the scientific community, the forensic community, and the dog handling slash training community, right? Forensic dog training community, because I think that although dogs have been around for a long time, trying to get them to do what man wants them to do sometimes is I believe very difficult, right? So there's a situation happening in Sarasota there at the reserve where the Mustang was parked. Um, hey, they found a body. I mean, I think that you could probably be safe to assume, right? So I don't know the logistics just quite yet. I've probably I'll probably contact another creator and say, hey man, summarize, paraphrase, give it to me, because I just that's not, I got a lot going on over here, right? So I mean, with the weed strain and all that stuff, I mean, hey, again, pretentious. So we're here just for a moment and we're talking about decomp dogs, right? So unless just taking the information that we have currently, like right now on the fly, they're in the Carlton Reserve. I believe they have a tent over a body. Okay, so it's at the entrance. Whoa, what does that tell you? It's the entrance where they brought all the dogs through, all the people. I'm gonna take a bet, right? Because it's about Brian Laundrie, and so I think it's okay. He's on the run, so he's as close to bashing like Brian Laundrie. This is as close to talking bad about Brian Laundrie that you're gonna hear, right? My contention, my bet, because I'll bet on a dead man, right? It's a for sure. I mean, that horse won't run. And that's what I'm betting on, right? That horse ain't running. Where the fuck is Brian Laundrie going? No fucking where. That's where. So, my contention is this. You have to remember all of the agents and all of the dogs that been through that area. So unless Brian Laundrie, who had been hiding out in the reserve, came back to the entrance today, and we're thinking it's probably going to be self-inflicted, right? So he comes back to the entrance today, and perishes under his own hand. You know that's what probably maybe some people want you to believe. Or big or, and not the kind you put on a canoe when you're up Schitt's Creek. I mean, or he's been laying there swelling up like a balloon through all the rain and all the humidity and all that hot ass heat and all them alligators or whatever animals could be over there. So, what we're looking at is I believe a situation where this man's been laying there for a while. That's my guess. He's been laying there for a while. There's a lot of activity over a body. So I'm guessing, hoo-ah. So, it's being broadcast with the connotation that it's probably him. So how many dogs did they bring through that entrance that were trained as decomp dogs? Hope you feel better, Lizzie. How many? How many dogs did we bring through that entrance looking for Brian Laundrie or decomp or anything? Because my contention is that you wouldn't need to track his scent. You could have let the dogs out in the entrance instead. I don't know. I mean, maybe the protocol is to keep them leashed. I don't know. But it certainly stands to reason with what I believe I know that you could have let the dogs out in the parking lot there and they'd have found him. He's right there. You didn't have to bring in six-wheeled amphibious floating machines that hold cops looking for fucking photo ops from drones. They're like, boom, right? I'll be right back. Hold on. Hey, this is just a little treat. Did anyone see where CM was on the Sinners gang, right? Remember the Sinners gang they got? Hold on, this is completely. Yeah, no way the dogs would have missed that spot. How the fuck did them dogs miss that spot, right? Like bad training, bad handlers. How you could begin to speculate, right? But does anybody remember? Put in the chat if you remember when CM, Doug, and the lab were all online together, all three, and they were making the sinners, right? And CM was like, no, make an S, and they were like, sinners. Hold on, I didn't tell you that I got jumped into the game last night. I'm now with CM, Doug, in the lab. I've been fucking all of y'all over. Sinners, baby! Sinners! I'm with the Sinners gang now. Stupid ass idiots. That's funny. You guys are funny. You got CM sitting up there with a fucking racist and Doug. And then you got Lab sitting there. He just don't know which way to go, but he knows he loves Doug, and he loves all of Doug's tattooing, even the 4 numbers on his legs. 2 on each side. 14 on the left, 88 on the right. Hooah. So that's just the biggest fucking joke you ever seen. Oh, so. Yes, Scott. Scott and I, we were talking on the line, and we heard that there was a body, and we started to think it was shoddy, but then fuck, I had to go to the potty, cause it smelled like shit. Shinners, the Shinners. Shinners gang, but let me tell you what. You guys know that I'm the hardest out of all 3 of them. So you can call me Boss Sinner. No. Call me the Chief Sinner. the chief sinner. Who is he? I am him. I am him. And yeah, you cringed hard, huh? And see, the chief sinner has hair on his face because he's full of testosterone. I think CM was just full of that fucking R&R, rest and relaxation. I call shots in the sinner's clique. Hail to the chief! Hail to the chief! Hail to the chief! Guess what? CM, he handles the intelligence arm of the Benny Keys Foundation. Doug, he handles the racism part of the Benny Keys Foundation. And the lab is just our pet pacifist. But I call shots. You understand me? Fuck you talking about? I'd have done time. I'd have done more time than all of y'all put together. I call shots. Ooh. Doug is hiding from all the women he sexually harassed that are his mods and subs and members. You're not seeing too much. Yeah, it's about to come down, 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 down. Was Doug? Hell no. Doug's looking for a liquor store that'll take EBT. Doug's looking for a place to chain Winston up at when he walks into the liquor store because they don't let dogs in. I mean, hell, when you ain't had a woman. Oh, even his own hands slap him up. Mary and Sally, don't quit talking to us like this. Quit slapping us around. We don't want to go down your pants. No, Doug, no. Save us, lab! Decomp dogs, a lot of them ain't shit. Hoo-ah? What you could say is that a lot of these decomp dogs that are used on missing people's cases where they render fucking money from it might just be... Ooh. Shit. I don't know what's going on, man. They're really working on me hard, man. Oh no, I was on my phone this time. Oh man, so that's really all I got, y'all. A lot of these decomp dogs ain't shit. Oh. I'm here. It brought me right back. Man, I'm telling you. Oh, I hate it because I've been on a fucking rant. Oh, jeez. Oh, geez, I can't even repeat it. Y'all. Okay. Let me try to repeat it. Okay, so, look here. A lot of these decomp dogs, right? A lot of these decomp dogs, they aren't, especially if they're private decomp dogs, that are used to, some people have decomp dogs that they kind of subcontract out, right? So you can hire someone privately if you don't want to use the police resource to come around with a decomp dog and do some searching, right? So this is a for instance. There's a guy named Dr. Arpad Voss. He got a patent for a device called an Inquisitor. And what this Inquisitor does is you take a piece of fingernail. I see you guys. You take a piece of fingernail and you put it in this guy's machine, and then this machine, working with satellites, will run the DNA, and it will tell him where he can go find a body that matches the DNA in the fingernail. So his connotation was, and this is what he quoted on, you can look it up, the Inquisitor, Arpad Voss, Arpadvoss. Someone had hired him to come out and look for a missing hiker, okay, hoo-ah.
And so he charged them an exorbitant amount of money, and then he got with a dog handler, and they walked a trail with this machine and a certified decomp dog, right? Cadaver dog, right? So they walked up the trail. Later on, months later, they found out that the hiker was just off the trail 3 feet. This come from Aussie Insider. The decomp dog was just off the trail 3 feet, and the machine, the dog, and both of the men's noses didn't see, smell, or hit on shit, right? So AV, and this is just a for instance, right? So AV Watchman, he's with the Orrin Orson West case, right? What he was doing, and I don't watch enough to even know if there's even been any updates, but what AV Watchman did was he got a bunch of money around and solicited some donors, from some of the same people who were merchandising now through the coattails, right? So what they would do is they would take this cadaver dog out in the desert, and then when he'd come across something, AV would get his little cup out and he'd scoop up the dirt right where the dog was, and he'd level it off, cap it, and then come online and say, I need $1,800 to test them samples. Oh yeah, awaken the art. But guess what? Not that much. Their nose is 10,000, I believe 10,000 times stronger than ours, right? So if you can smell a fart while the exhaust is outside, then a dog can smell a dead body with exhaust outside. He could smell what that person had for dinner, their last dinner. He could smell that too, right? I mean, that's real shit. Some dogs, man, they mess around if they know what you had for dinner. I'm just, not that they do this, but a dog's nose is so strong that if someone had dinner and then the police came with the dog and the person ran out and went through the forest and all that jazz, they could let that dog get on that dinner plate right there, and then it would chase the smell of pork chops and the man through the fucking woods. Think I'm lying? I'm crying, and I ain't shed a tear. Look here, awaken the art. She's a handler, and it does happen. So what we have, though, is we have Northport Police, we got FBI, we've got private, we've got all sorts of different organizations with cadaver dogs, and my connotation is that he's been laying there for a while, bloating up like a balloon, right? Like there's many different things that you would smell about that man, right? So it doesn't make sense, right? Hey, God's grace. Yeah, 2 families are destroyed, right? Nobody wins, right? Everybody lost, right? But what I'm pointing out is, me and my pursuit to protect justice. What we're looking at is a scenario where a dog could be the difference between being in jail and not. Hoo-ah. You could say that the dogs were ineffective all the way around. Right? And what's really interesting would be to find out the state of the cadaver, the corpse, right? Because if he wasn't just all ate to shit by critters, well, then all this bullshit they've been telling us, all these critters, it doesn't stand true. Like, it's just a lot of, all I'm trying to do is just point out the misinformation, right? A lot of people, let me tell you what, families of missing folks, when they hear a dog is coming, and crooks, when we hear dogs are coming, you automatically get a feeling the crook is like, oh shit, and the family is like, oh good, thank God the dog is coming, right? A dog sometimes is like a polygraph. It's inconclusive, and it could potentially, because humans put so much reliance on a dog, right? Because humans put so much reliance on a dog, somebody will walk through the woods looking at that dog's butthole, letting the dog do the work. It's like letting cops letting rewards do the work, right? Cops let the dogs do the work, and they walk right past some shit. I mean, they just pull right up past it. Who's leading who? Is the dog leading, or is the human telling the dog where to go? I don't know. So let me tell you guys, in the pursuit of justice, or if Don, if you're listening, anyone else that's listening that that believes that they're gonna, that there's a miracle that could be found inside of a dog's nose? It could be. It has been. Dogs have solved millions of cases. But then you look at the really high profile ones where they didn't work at all. Largest manhunt in history for America's daughter. And we don't have a dog sophisticated enough to find a man that's been laying in a fucking Florida reserve, wildlife, I don't know, conservationist reserve. That's what we're saying. Yeah, the teller's wagging the dog and they're following it, right? Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like when you have a fish on the end of the line. I guess the fish caught the fisherman. You could say that. It's unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable. I mean, you start to see the degradation with all the technology we have. Couldn't find him with a forward infrared looking camera. Couldn't find him with 6-wheel amphibious floating ATVs. Couldn't find him with hundreds of agents, helicopters, airplanes, commentators, the whole fucking works. Couldn't find him. Look at there, Lady Blue says, TBI has a good video about the dogs. They have different kinds. They even have some that pick up different emotions or cadaver dogs. There you go. There you go. Did they have a dog out there that was sensing fear? Well, they may have, but it didn't do anything. Did they have cadaver dogs out there? Yeah. Did they have dogs that were probably cross-trained in many different things, can smell narcotics? And so what they're looking for a lot of times when a dog, certain dogs, it's like, I don't know the exact terminology, but what I would call it is like a flora dog, right? So when someone's running, there's a dog he's really trained and leaned towards smelling the broken ground as you run across it. It throws flora, broken grass. You break over a piece of grass and the dog smells broken grass and he's just trained to stay on the trail of broken ground, right? And it's very, 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 very efficient, right? So it's just a scary thing when we have all of these agents all packed together and we find the man dead at the entrance. Dr. Strangeglove, that is strange. You guys can just put him out. Drones. I mean, we got every piece of technology that's currently available for America's daughter. Yep. Man, I don't know, man. And then we've got a Utah coroner, right? Or Wyoming coroner, whatever it was, right? We got one of them that maybe seen fucking, half a dozen sketchy deaths in his whole life, right? And it's just like JFK going to Bethesda to be autopsied by two clinician, forensic examiners who had never seen battle trauma wounds. So for them to even get the entrance and exit stuff correct, like they didn't, right? It's fact. So you've got some Wyoming people, man, that are used to probably looking at, deaths of old age, ATV accidents, and falls off of mountains and shit, right? Steer kicks, negligent discharges, maybe. But as far as like handling America's daughter, fuck, man. So guess what, guys? This is what I'm doing now. If Gabby was America's daughter, right? Then what is Summer? Is Summer America's sweetheart? Is she America's princess? Is she America's little sister? What is she? Could we call her America's youngest daughter? Can we call her that? Let's call her that. America's youngest daughter. Shauna, the fact that you don't know how much I know is you coming over here talking silly about do you know, and you spell no with the N-O, like, beat it, mosquito. For real, man. So don't always place like and this is for sleuths, right? Sleuths, web detectives, all of that stuff. Man, the dog doesn't necessarily mean nothing, and we got a perfect example of that right here, right? But what I want to know now is, can we get that same team of cats that found him and found her? Can we get y'all to jump over to fucking Kingsville, Hawkins County, Tennessee for 1 week? Because y'all was in the flatland. Please come to Hawkins County, Kingsport, Tennessee. Please come to Ben Hill Road and search that area, man. Because we had a bunch of rookies and novices and organizations fighting about fundraisings and all that other shit, man. Please bring the team, man, the feds. You're the ones that can say, oh yeah, Hawkins County, get out the way. We're here. Please bring all them people for this little girl, man. I'm out of here.